Hi all, welcome back to the channel. Hope you've had a good week so far. It's Friday, it's the weekend. Hopefully the weather will be better than what it has been today. It's been absolutely dreadful, but hope you've had a good week. So tonight's video, guys and girls, we're going to do something a bit different. A few years ago when I started doing a few videos for my pupils, I did a video on one of the major roundabouts in the area called the Dogs Trust, and the camera angle wasn't brilliant. So now I'm experimenting a little bit more. I thought I'd just redo the video with the camera on the back of the car so you can see more of what I'm doing. Hopefully it works out. So before we drive off, I'm actually doing this intro at the end of the video, so I've got to link it all up. I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you that have subscribed. Mark, a good friend of mine at Resurrect Autos, as a lot of you will know, give me a good shout out on, I think it is Wednesday's video, Tuesday or Wednesdays, and a lot of you have subscribed, and I really do appreciate it, and a big thank you to Mark, because it's made a big difference. Congratulations to Mark for hitting his 10,000 subs, and I'm pretty sure he's going to go on to getting up to 15,000 very soon. As you know, Mark does a lot of work for all of us subs. He's done my cars for many years. He's done my son's car, the Blue Fiesta, which you'll all recognise on many occasions. Yeah, so big thanks, Mark. Appreciate your support. And all of you guys, the new subs, the older subs, that's sort of been, being with me since day one. I'm not massive. I'm only on 175 now. The other day it was 132. So we've gone up by 40 odd subs in the last few days, which is really, really nice. Would appreciate any more. Be great to get over 200. But I'm very similar to Mark, where I'm not aiming to be a big YouTuber. It's just not me. I just want to show you what I do. And the purpose of doing videos is just to supplement my pupils' lessons, or if you're learning with somebody else, to do a little bit of info in between lessons, or if you've recently passed or been passed for a few years, hopefully the little tips and points that I give you will improve your driving. That's the whole aim, is to make us all a better driver, a more relaxed driver. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and say a big thanks again. I know I've said it a few times now, but I really do genuinely appreciate your support. Please do a big favour. It costs nothing to subscribe, but hit the like button. Really appreciate it if you like it. If you don't, then press the dislike button. Please comment. A lot of people put nice video or good video. If you can sort of say what you like about it, what you don't like, would you like me to try something a little bit different on the video? It just helps to me. So this is all new to me, so I'm just trying to experiment with different things. So I would appreciate any input that you can give me. Some of you may be YouTubers that I don't know about. So again, give me some pointers, be much appreciated. Anyway, cheers all. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend. And hopefully I'll try and put one out at some point next week. Cheers all. Thank you very much. So guys, as explained in the intro, we're just going to go for a little drive now. I'm going to go around one of the biggest and busiest roundabouts in our area. Those of you that are with me or live in the area, it's the Dogs Trust, which links the A127 for London or Southend bound, and also goes into Wickford as well. So it's now just after 5:20. I thought I'd do the video now rather than when it's quiet, doing it in peak rush hour. So we're going to be following the signs for Southend A127, which you should be able to see that it's the middle lane. And as you can see, we've got two lanes going to the same place. So remember what we said before, we keep left. If you've got more than one lane going to the same place, we keep the car left. Unless, of course, you've got a reason to be keeping over. So, for example, if this lane was heavily congested and the next lane was clear, then we'll be using that lane to help with the flow of traffic. But at the moment, both the lanes are pretty much the same, so we're going to stay where we are. Now, the reason being, it makes leaving the roundabout so much easier. So it's not just the Dog's Trust roundabout, it's any roundabout like this. We've got multiple lanes going the same way. Those of you that's been watching my videos, you may be aware that my phone has been playing up recently. It does cut out when it gets hot. So we've got the air conditioning on, hopefully that will help. So we may need to do this video in a couple of parts. So it's going to be about probably 15 minutes to finish this part of the video, and we'll see how we go. So if you looked at the sign, the left lane is going off towards Wickford. The lane we're in now, you can also go straight ahead for Wickford and for Southend, which is the way I'm going. Now be aware I'm looking at my left mirror, because being in the middle lane you can be very vulnerable with vehicles coming up on the inside. So here we're taking exit 3, we've passed 1. As we come around by exit 2, this is really quiet, this is surprising. You see now it's leaving on the left. I've never seen Dog's Trust that quiet at this time of night. It's amazing. So hopefully we might get round a little bit quicker. So those of you that have watched my videos before, I did do this a few years ago before I started really doing YouTube. I've done it as a video to help my pupils. I only had an old phone, so it wasn't brilliant. So I'm just trying this different camera angle so you can see what I'm doing as well. So we use the slip road to build our speed ups and to find space to merge. And you see now, as I said before, with staggered formations, I'm holding back on this little white Ford in case they decide to come over. And give myself plenty of space ahead just in case the traffic does build up. But like I said a minute ago, this is really, really clear. Like I said before, you know, we're always going to be in the left lane wherever possible. If you've got a reason to be keeping over to overtake slower traffic, then, or to help with the flow, then that's what we're going to do. But at the moment, we're all good. Both the lanes are taking the same amount of space, doing the same speed. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the next exit off and go around the back end of Wickford, then I'm going to stop for a minute or two, let the phone cool down a little bit, and then do the journey back. So with the slip road, I'm going to get into the slip road as soon as possible, then start to get the brakes on. If you see now, it's just one gear change from 5th down to 2nd. As most of you will know, I like to keep my gear changing down to an absolute minimum. I hope you guys notice the speed limit when we come into this road. For those of you that didn't, it's a 40. So I'm not saying you're going to be doing 40 on a bend, but when you get a bit of road where you can see that it's clear, then we start to build our speed up. I'm keeping the car as far left as possible for any vehicles that may be coming round. But when the road clears, then we start to get our speed back up again. If we look at the right curb, it cuts in quite sharply towards the left. So we know that bend is quite sharp. And as we come round, when the two curbs or two edges start to widen, we know the bend is straightening out. So look at this now. The left hedge is opening it towards the right. So we know this bend is not as sharp as the last one. So the earlier the road starts to widen, the less of an angle. I'm just slowing down for this broken down motorbike. Then here, moving the car slightly to the right, looking across the hedge, across the grass, to open my view. And just by turning your head, you get so much more information. See there again, I know it's repetitive, but you can see I'm just concentrating on braking and positioning and the observation. Then the gear comes a little bit later when I know what gear I want. Excuse the quick glances to the left, I'm just trying to see that the phone is still recording. So most of you will recognise where we are. We're just in a place called the Wick in Wickford. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this white van as we approach now. Get us holding back until it's turned off. So what I'm going to do now, as we come around this bend, I'm going to find somewhere to pull up on the right. So those of you that are learning or maybe past will know that this is part of the driving test now. So the reason I've chose here to stop is because we're before the bend on the left and we're before the parked vehicle on the left. We've got clear space. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to reverse the car back a few car lengths, being aware that what could be coming from the front and back. So that's good observation around the whole car. So the car coming from ahead, we're just going to stop. You can see how late that driver left it to overtake. So observation again, so every time we stop, we're going to continue looking around the whole car. We're just going about 2 or 3 car lengths, but normally the examiner will tell you when we're going to stop. But it's normally sort of maybe 2 or 3, possibly 4 car lengths. So that will do us quite nicely. You see it, just by holding the car back again, we're opening that little bit of space to keep it rolling. It's one of the things I don't like to overcomplicate. We want to try and keep it as smooth and as simple as we possibly can. So I'm just going to stop here for a couple of minutes. Just going to check my phone. So I'm going to stop this part of the video and then restart it in a little while. See you in a bit. Okay, so it seems like the phone is behaving itself at the moment, so let's continue. So I'm going to start heading back home now, which will take us probably about 15 minutes or so, 15, maybe 20 minutes, depending on traffic. So this should make about a half-hour video all in. So it'll be something to watch over the weekend. So I'm just looking to my right now. So we're going to get to the roundabout long before that car, so we're going to take that really nicely. So we're just coming through the back end of Wickford. Then we head back down towards the Dog Trust again, back onto the A127. So those of you that have been watching some of the very early videos that I've put up, I'm going to gradually start to re-record them to hopefully make them a little bit better. I'm still finding it difficult talking to the camera, so excuse the little stumbles here and there. And hopefully the camera angles are working a little bit better for you. I was going to do it on the screen with the dual camera, but I thought with the road we're on, it's more beneficial to do the angle we're trying now. But give me your thoughts on that. If you prefer the dual camera, let me know, and we can go back and re-record it. Or we can always do it as well as. Guys and girls, what's the signs on the left? We see the speed limit sign. What's the one with the red cross? I'm not going to tell you. Drop it in the comments. So what's the white line on the left? The solid white line, and the broken line in the middle. Again, drop it in the comments. So here we're going to be following the signs for London A127. So it's the second exit, which is ahead. So because there's no dedicated left turn lane, we are staying on the left and just bringing the speed down on the brake. And I'm going to check out this white Mini, which is coming round now. Then we've got a silver Peugeot, a grey Fiesta, and then we've got the space to keep it rolling.
Caution.
So with modern technology, the cars have said, as you heard there, caution. So what do you think it was saying caution for? And there's bits of technology that, do you really need it on a car? Because you can see you should be looking at the road yourself anyway. I think sometimes technology is going a little bit too far on cars. It's doing it all for you. I prefer to be a bit more mechanical, a bit more involved in what I'm doing. I don't want the car doing it for me. be following the signs for Dartford crossing. It would be London, but I'm just going to use the right-hand lane on this one. Now, because of the left lane, you've got a little bit of traffic, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier. Normally I'd be on the left, but because we've got two lanes going to the same place, I'm going to use the shorter queue. It just makes it slightly harder when we're leaving. Use the space that we've got. So now if you look at the sign directly ahead of us, the way to tell where you're going and to help your lane positioning, look at the sign. We're going towards London A127. So is the left lane going towards London? No, it's not, so we don't want that lane. Is the middle lane going towards London? Yes, it is, so we could use that lane. Is the right lane going to London? Yes, so we can use that one. But normally, like I said, we would be on the left out of the two, but because of the queue, I've used the shorter one out of them. But when it's safe to do so, I will be coming off. You see that by moving over, it makes leaving the roundabout so much easier. So if in the event that we couldn't have come over, then the next lane would still be fine. But you just got to merge back to the left when it's safe to do so. I'm just being aware now that there could be a vehicle on my right trying to overtake, particularly where the slip road starts to taper down into one lane. You see the white focus on the right. Me personally, I prefer to use more of the slip road. Use as much of the space as you can, because you're going to find it a lot easier to merge, and it gives us more time to build our speed up and more time for the drivers on the carriageway to respond to what we're doing. So now we're matching the speed of the carriageway traffic just by using that space. You see it time and time again where drivers try to join far too early, and all it does, it makes the traffic back up. So I'm looking to my left now. There's only one car merging from the left, so we're just going to give them a little bit of space to merge. Because there was no point in moving over because there was only one car. And you see, I'm still back into my staggered formation. If you look at the white car on the Enterprise van, if that van was to stop really suddenly, that driver would never stop in time. All that driver can see is two back doors of a van. What if you heard me by coming over? Believe how quiet this traffic's been tonight. I was going to do this video tomorrow during a Saturday, but I thought we'd try and get a bit of rush hour traffic to make the video a little bit more interesting, but it clearly hasn't worked in our favour. down again here because the cars are struggling very slightly, going on this slight uphill, and then we'll take it back up into gear 6. Always try to use the higher gears of speed because then it brings the revs down, so it's better on fuel, makes the car more relaxed. I'm just looking again to my left. That blue car is well ahead of me, so it's not really going to create any problems. You see now, with a lower limit, I'm not touching my brakes, I'm just easing the gas in good time to get my speed down by the sign without touching the brakes. If you have to brake, try and keep it minimal as you can. Right, so normally I'd be in the right hand lane to overtake this van, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to do something wrong just to try and show you something. For a couple of seconds, I'm just going to close up on this van, which I wouldn't normally do. I just want you to see how our view is closing down. Can you see it's getting less, it's getting less, it's getting less. We can't see much at all now. So imagine getting any closer, your view is coming down. But I'm going to go for the overtake now. Well, hopefully you understand what I'm talking about. The closer we get, the less we can see. So I'm coming off at the next exit, so I'm going to just tuck in behind this white Toyota. Again, just holding the car back. So normally, had I been standing on the carriageway, I would have gone for the overtake, but my exit is literally about 100 yards down the road. Back a little bit here, so although the lights have just changed, there's always a risk they could change again. Also being mindful that the road is closing down from the right, so I'm just keeping a check of this right mirror and this one. The amount of times I see vehicles overtaken on the hatch lines. I don't understand how people can drive so close. There's 3 vehicles. This where is this 4-wheel drive front? Can't remember what it's called. Then the Fiesta, then one in front of that. They're so close together, but they're not getting home any quicker. I don't get their mentality. Just by holding the car back, you've got a better view. Your driving is more relaxed. Just at the moment, it's a Dacia. It's come to me, the name of that car. I know we get there eventually. just going to pay my mum a visit on a Friday night, so I'm just going to park here for a sec and just wind this part of the video up. Hopefully you'll get something from it. As always, please drop a comment down below. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Have a great weekend all, and we'll speak to you in a week. Cheers all.